Welcome to Big Boss Battle. My name is Removal Sanity. Today I am looking at Die from developer Bat County Games, and this is for the Xbox One X. So, what is Die? The best way to describe Die is that it is a 2D hardcore platformer similar in theme to Super Meat Boy and Phoenix Rage. So what is the premise of the game? Well, you start as a white circle with legs by the name of Hugh, who must restore colour to his world after 4 evil necrolights capture all the pigments that populate the 4 worlds. These 4 worlds have been completely drained of colour, and these necrolights have taken on board each of the colour attributes. And this leads me on to the gameplay. Now the game boasts 4 different hub worlds, and each hub world has respectively approximately about 14 different levels. Each of these hub worlds are separately distinguished by different colours. The idea of the game is that there is a variety of pigments, 5 in total, hidden around the level, and it's up to you to use your platforming skills to collect them. The levels themselves are generally fitted out with a variety of obstacles, puzzles and items, all waiting to kill our player, and it will take you a variety of different goes to actually locate and find a way to these pigments. The player will need to do fast-paced wall jumps and precisely focused floating to make it to the next checkpoint, and each new world adds a more creative layer to the gameplay and more ingenious puzzle for you to be killed by. Now, for the hardcore players out there, this sounds like the perfect game for you to sink your teeth into, and it sounds like this will be quite fun and enjoyable. And it is for the first couple of hours, but only for the first couple of hours. There are 2 big caveats to this game which I feel causes the game irreparable damage. The first is the game's control system. Now, Hugh tends to slide or stumble a few inches after landing from each and every jump, forcing the player to constantly push back in the opposite direction whilst coming down or risk a likely death. This simple mechanic will cause you tremendous frustration, as you're simply going to end up trying to push the opposite way and die because of it. The game also doesn't have the option to change the control sensitivity, a big oversight in my opinion from the development team, as this was the biggest cause of frustration and hate I found when playing the game. And this leads into the second of the game's biggest issues, that is the pigments themselves. Now, the pigments themselves return to the original location upon each of your deaths if a checkpoint has not been reached. This in itself isn't much of a bad thing. However, combining this with it is the only way to actually unlock new levels. Each section becomes a matter of choosing which pigment players can reliably collect without frequent deaths, since collecting all 5 in any of these levels is rarely achievable or barely enjoyable. Personally, I feel the devs should remove the specific number of pigments required to open up any new level, as combining this with the pretty bad control system kills all your motivation to progress further. You just end up thinking, well, why bother? There's certain pigments I can't get to because of the control system, and I need to get those pigments to get to that level. It's pointless. Why continue? Because of this, it forces the game into a very specific and small niche market of players that will put up with the uncontrollable frequent deaths and look past its specific and a bit flawed control system. And this leads me on to the graphics. The game has a 2D beautiful style that is somewhat simplistic but very pleasing to look at, and you will have occasional moments of cuteness that breaks down the overbearing wall of death and failures. The game's style is very reminiscent to Lemmings, and I absolutely love the way that colour is used within each of the levels. Once you pick up pixelation, you go from a drab grey to a vibrant colour of blue or purple, depending on which hub you are in. The game itself runs incredibly smooth, and I have yet to see any frame rate issues, but this is what I would expect on such a very simple yet beautifully designed platformer. So what about the sound? Well, this is where I believe the game devs have hit the nail on the head. The game itself has uplifting beats that fit right in with the action-packed events and chaotic movements. It is beautiful to listen to and a true joy to behold. You will probably end up listening to this game much more than you will enjoy playing it. So what did I think of Die on the Xbox One X? Well, personally for me this is a thumbs down, and this is for the following reasons. I can see the devs have their heart in the right place. However, the control system and the level progression really kills the absolute motivation for you to keep moving forward. I really did want to enjoy this game, but I found it really frustrating and irritating. Now don't get me wrong, there are games out there that are frustrating and irritating, but allows you to move forward and continue on your journey. This, because of those two items, isn't such a gain, and I do recommend the devs to at least put those options in so that it isn't pushed into such a niche market. That said, as I said earlier, if you are a hardcore gamer that can overlook these issues, you will probably enjoy it. But for the vast majority, this is going to be a very big cause for concern. As I said, I do hope maybe they can update these items, as I really feel this game deserves a second chance. There is so much potential here, and if these options are just slightly added, I truly believe this game has the potential to be fantastically enjoyable and well worth your money. The game is currently available on Xbox Live for $5 US and about £3 UK. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed this review. Please do tell us what you think, as we are interested in hearing your thoughts on the matter. Until next time, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.